Okay, I think we are live. Let's see. I'm gonna give some people some time to get in here before we get started, but I think we're live. Okay, looks like we're good. Looks like we're live. All right, what's up, guys? What's up, guys? It's a big slate today. Tuesday, 10 games, I believe. 10 games for today. It's Taco Tuesday over on Prizepicks. So we're going to talk through some plays I like for tonight that we can pair with some of the tacos. There was an Anthony Edwards taco that actually just got taken off the board. It's back up now. Anthony Edwards is questionable, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. And then there's an NHL taco that's up as well. I haven't used the NHL taco. I've already used the Anthony Edwards taco, but I haven't used the NHL one. So we're going to probably build out a slip with this NHL taco. I've got a couple plays I'm kind of looking at. Definitely going to keep an eye on this Anthony Edwards news. I don't know. Let's see. So right now we're starting to get some props back up for Minnesota, but not many. Let me switch over to Prizepicks. So it looks like we're starting to get some props up for Minnesota, but not a lot. Like, we're still waiting for, they got Jaden McDaniels rebounds, Randall 3-point attempts, but that's really it. But hopefully they should add some more stuff. But we'll have to keep an eye on that because Anthony Edwards is questionable now. That's some big injury news to monitor. Other than that, though, it's like a quiet news day. For a 10-game slate, there's not a ton of news. Wendell Carter Jr. did get ruled out a little bit ago, but they've kind of already adjusted props for that, so I don't think there's really going to be too much value to look at from there. And that's really it. There's some questionable tags, on Maxi Kleber. Zion's questionable, but we're not going to get that news during stream. That'll come later tonight. So that's really it. Really, it's just Anthony Edwards questionable tag that we got to keep an eye on. And we'll definitely do that. There's going to be some value, though, on props if he gets ruled out. That's if they actually put the lines back up. Because right now we're kind of waiting. It looks like they are starting to add some stuff back up, though. So we'll take a look at those. But I've already got a couple plays I like for tonight that we'll talk about later in the stream that we can use with this NHL taco. But I want to say what's up to everybody in chat. Daniel, openly opinionated. Brendan, what's up, guys? What's up? Daniel says, hope we can catch a win today. Need to pay my subscription again. It's been rough these past 4 days. It's definitely been rough, man. It's been rough. I think we're with the Patreon plays, I literally think we've lost 6 days in a row. It's been brutal, man. Some days we've lost and I'm I just feel like I made some bad reads. And then some days we've lost and it's been just total BS. The day, it was 2 or 3 days ago, we had an over on Paulo, fantasy. And he had 9 turnovers. I think if he would have had 4 turnovers, we would have hit. But he had 9 turnovers. What are the odds? Paulo has 9 turnovers. Just some stuff like that. It's kind of frustrating. But I like the plays tonight. I mean, all the plays we give out on Patreon every day, we're getting good value on them. It's just shit hasn't gone our way lately. And that'll happen. There's going to be times when you get bad variants, you get good variants. Right now we're getting all the bad variants. But I still feel good about the plays I'm putting out there every day. The value's there. Just got to hope they come through. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I like the plays tonight, though. And hopefully tonight's the night we can get back on track. Open Opinion Day says, what's up, bro? How are you? I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. I'm excited for this slate. I always get excited for these big slates. Hopefully we can catch a win tonight. Hopefully we can catch a win tonight. Brennan says, do you like LeBron at 6.5 assists? We can take a look at that one. Let me pull up Props Madness on my monitor. Let's see. Let me switch over. Let's take a look at LeBron assist. It's 6.5. Let's see. So looking at sportsbook odds right now, most sportsbooks have him favored for under 6.5 assists. So I don't love that if you're looking at the over there. On the season, his hit rate, 20 out of 42 games. In games with Luka and with Reeves, 8 out of 16. Matchup against the Pelicans, I think, is definitely a good one. But 6.5 feels like a good line, Brendan. I don't see too much edge there. Right now, the market's kind of favoring his under, so I don't love the over in that spot. I feel like that's probably a good line. I wonder if let's take a look at his games against the Pelicans this year. So he did play the Pelicans once this year, had 8 assists. Austin Reeves didn't play in that game, though, so kind of take that with a grain of salt. Yeah, I feel like 6.5 is a good line there on LeBron assist. That boy Rizzle says, what's good, Noah? What's up, Rizzle? What's up, my man? Mista says, what's up? What's up, Mista? Just got to ride the wave? Yeah, that's the truth, man. I mean, you can look, like, I can pull it up on my monitor, on my screen. I mean, so we've had losing streaks before. Like, anyone who's in my Patreon, like, and if you gamble, like, you know losing streaks are going to happen. But, I mean, you can see here, like, we lost, like, what? That's 3 days in a row we lost. We had a stretch where we lost, like, to the end of January, we lost, what? Like 4 days in a row. Still ended the month in the positive. The month of February, we started off the month of February terrible. I mean, we lost like 5 days in a row. And then we won, 4 days in a row. To end the month of February, we lost like 4 days in a row, 5 days in a row. Still ended the month, up to 2.5 or 2.9 units. Not great, but still good. But yeah, it's been tough, man. I mean, you can see the last time we had a winning day with our Patreon plays was February 23rd. So we've gone, like a week straight with losses. It's been frustrating, but this isn't my first time doing, going on a losing streak. It happens. The wins are eventually going to come. But I totally get it. Like, I get why people get frustrated. A lot of people who probably tail the Patreon plays, they probably bet more than they should be betting. So, like, when we go on a losing streak like this, then they can't tail anymore. And then, we'll eventually start winning again, and then they'll start tailing again. But, like, you just got to ride the wave. Look, we're going to have losing months. We're going to have losing streaks. It is what it is. I'm not changing my process. I know I'm giving out good plays every day. Eventually, the wins are going to come. And hopefully tonight's the night that happens. We'll see. But yeah, it's been frustrating, no doubt. It's been frustrating. These losing streaks suck. But won't be the first one, or won't be the last time we have a losing streak. Michael says, hit that like button. Yeah, hit that like button, guys. Hit that like button. I always appreciate you guys tuning into these streams every day, man. Try and make these streams as valuable as I can. Give you guys plays I like and answer your questions. All I ask is you hit the like button and you interact in chat too. Feel free to interact in chat. Type any questions you have. If you want to, if it could be player prop related, it could be just life questions. I don't care. I'm here to just chill with you guys and answer some questions and hopefully find some winning plays. Debo Rizzle says, enjoying the Patreon. Lots of cool people. Everyone's trying to help each other win. That's the truth, man. At the end of the day, that's the goal. We're all just trying to win money at the end of the day. Can you look at Brandon Miller under field goal attempts? I can take a look at that one, Rodney. Let's see. I don't know if Props Madness has field goal attempts on their site. I don't think they do. Do they? Let's see. Oh, they do. Okay, Brandon Miller field goal attempts. Or that's free throws, my bad. That's free throws attempted. I don't think Props Madness has field goal attempts. They don't. But I could probably just look at like points. So what's his field goal attempts line at on Prizepicks? Let's see. It's at 17.5. I wonder what that last 5 looks like. Okay. So let's look at games with LaMelo, with Khan, and with Miles Bridges, because all those guys are in right now. So in those games, he averages 15.7 field goal attempts per game. Definitely down, compared to what he would average if those guys were out. I mean, as of late, the field goal attempts have been up for Brandon Miller. 16 in this game, 19. We can see, like, he scores a lot of his points from above the break threes, and that's where, Dallas defends that area pretty well. He scores, 41% of his points from catch and shoot. Dallas is pretty good defending catch and shoot. I don't think it's a great spot for Brandon Miller to score, but, you're not necessarily betting on him scoring. You're betting on volume. Maybe he gets the volume here. I feel like 17.5, though, is probably a good line on his field goal attempts, especially with LaMelo, Khan, Miles Bridges all healthy. Again, he was averaging only 15.7 per game with all those guys healthy. His last 10 games, though, with all those guys healthy, has been a little bit better. What did he have? Let's see. I think they already played Dallas this year. What did he have in that game? Let's take a look at the head-to-head. So in one game against Dallas this year, he had 13 field goal attempts. Or no, excuse me. Yeah, 13 field goal attempts, 23 points. Yeah, that line to me, 17.5 feels about right. Don't have much of a take on that one. Okay, we just got the Cavs starting lineup. Harden, Merrill, Tyson, Mobley, and Allen. So as expected there, nothing to note. Casey Wallace PRA, I took it at 23.5. Let's look at Casey Wallace PRA. Casey Wallace this year, like with SGA, without SGA, he has been like a completely different player. Obviously, SGA is out tonight. But let's look at his games. So with SGA this year, Casey Wallace averages PRA per game, 13 PRA per game. Let's look at games, with SGA without J-Dub. He averages 14 PRA per game. But like if you look at his games without SGA, 23 PRA per game. He's averaging almost 10 more PRA per game without SGA. Does this continue? Like, I don't know. Casey Wallace has never been this type of player that like has like a big usage rate. Like throughout his career, he's been like a low usage player, kind of more of a defensive guy. But his numbers without SGA have been awesome. Does it continue? I don't know. I think the matchup's good against the Bulls. 23.5 though, like that feels like a pretty good line. Pretty much he's at 23.5 pretty much everywhere. Prizepicks has a line at 24. I mean, if it's a prop that you like, man, I guess you could take it. I'm just hesitant. I don't want to just look at this 3-game stretch and think like this is the norm. This is the norm for Casey Wallace, because I definitely think there's probably some regression coming. Like I don't think he continues to be that good. Anything you like on Underdog other than Patreon plays and any money line favorites? Let's take a look at some money lines. I haven't even looked at the lines for today. Let's see. Anytime people ask like a money line play, like I try not to give like something crazy, like or something like obvious. Like I'm not going to tell you to bet a minus 500 money line. So I'm looking for something that's like somewhat even money. Yeah, I don't know today. Like there's a lot of the spreads today are big. Like there's a lot of double-digit spreads today, a lot of big favorites. I mean, the closest projected game is Knicks Raptors and Pistons Cavs. I don't have a good feel on those games. I lean Knicks beat the Raptors. I lean Cavs beat the Pistons, but yeah, for today, for money lines, I don't see much. Every other game is like, the favorites are minus 600, minus 700, and I'm not betting that, so probably nothing for today. It's been a minute since I've seen you on YouTube, Noah. What happened to you doing the DFS breakdowns? I haven't done like DFS content, man, and I couldn't tell you how long. It's been like 2 or 3 years. Really, now I'm just doing like player props. So Prizepicks, the DFS apps that I can play in my state. I can't sports bet in my state, but I can do player props on the DFS apps like Prizepicks, Underdog, Sleeper, Better. So I've just been doing content for that, man. I've been enjoying it too. I mean, I still play DFS, but like DFS content was kind of dying down. So I just tried to switch it up, go to something new. So that's what I've been doing. RJ Barrett over 5 rebounds. Let's take a look at RJ Barrett rebounds. Let's see. So you said RJ Barrett 5 rebounds more. If you got his line at 5, then that's solid because his line's 5.5 pretty much everywhere. So let's look at games with Scotty, with Pirtle, with Ingram, and with Quickly. Nope. So he averages 5.4 rebounds per game with all the main starters healthy. Over in half his games. Matchup for rebounding going up against the Knicks, I don't think is great. Like the Knicks are a pretty good rebounding team. You look at their stats this year, 5th best in rebounds allowed, 3rd best in offensive rebounds allowed, 8th best in defensive rebounds allowed. The Knicks play at a slow pace, which is not great for rebounds. Has he faced the Knicks this year? He has. He did have 8 rebounds in that game. Looks like Pirtle didn't play in that game, though. I feel like 5.5 is a good line on Barrett. I wouldn't be betting his over there. I wouldn't probably be betting his under either. I think it's one of those plays I kind of just avoid. But if you got it at 5, I mean, that's good. If you got it at 5. Got to get up in those CBB streets, especially with the tourney coming up. Hey, man, I don't do college basketball. Maybe one day I'll do college basketball, but not right now. Just spend too much time in NBA, and MLB's coming up in a couple months or like in a month or so. So actually, I think MLB's coming up at the end of I think March. End of March is when the MLB regular season starts. So like MLB's coming up in a couple weeks. Just too much time devoted to those things to really even worry about college basketball. But I will watch the March Madness tournament. I only bet by the books now. I go to sports books, find props that are juiced the most either way, bet those on Prizepicks, chalkboard, etc. Okay. I mean, yeah, that's like typically a good strategy. Plus EV betting. If you can find props that are heavily juiced on the sports books and you can play those on Prizepicks, yeah, that's a good way to go. Okay, we just got word. Anthony Edwards is a game time decision. Okay. I did want to take a look. Have they put up Minnesota props yet? Let's see. So they have Anthony Edwards props up. It looks like they did add a lot of the Minnesota stuff back up. Nas, Gobert. I was wondering though if they would add props up for Ayo Dosunmu, because Ayo Dosunmu I think is the guy that really benefits if Ant's out, because I would expect Ayo to start, but they only have his Demons 3-pointers made. I'm not taking that. Interesting. Okay. And don't worry, we're gonna give out a player or two to pair with this NHL taco, but I did want to answer some questions first before we did that. So yeah, stay tuned if you want some plays, because we'll definitely give out something. Nick Claxton for 10 plus points. Take a look at Claxton. So if you're taking 10 plus points, I'm sure that's probably an alt line. Let's lower his line to 9.5. I mean, on the season, pretty good hit rate on 10 plus points, 80%. Matchup against Miami, I think is okay. You can see where Claxton scores a lot of his points in the restricted area, in the paint. Miami below league average, giving up points in the restricted area. Below league average, giving up points in the paint. Below, bottom 10, giving up points within 10 feet. Don't think it's a bad matchup for Clax. I worry about blowout. Anytime you're talking about the Nets, you have to worry about blowout because they're just a bad team. But if he plays like 26 minutes, 28 minutes, feel good about him scoring 10 points. He's already faced the Heat once this year. He did have 16 points in that game, for what it's worth. Anytime you're talking about those like alt lines, I mean, it always depends on what kind of price you're paying for those, but I feel like Claxton probably scores 10 points, hopefully, for you at least. Patrick says, I feel like the NBA has been legit asked to bet on with all the tanking, players' minutes changing, random blowouts. I took Derek White yesterday. He shot 4 for 30 from 3. The tanking's been really bad this year, for sure. Minutes changing, I mean, that's kind of like, that's what we really try and project is minutes. We're trying to project minutes every day. It's definitely difficult. But that's the goal with prop betting is really projecting out minutes. There's definitely been some volatility, though, with some teams. Like, you just have no idea how some teams are going to spread out minutes from a game-to-game basis, especially the teams that are tanking. The blowouts, I mean, the NBA's always had blowouts. It's just how it is. I'm sure there will be some blowouts tonight. I mean, you look at the spreads for tonight. Like, I think there's like 4 or 5 games with double-digit spreads. Let's see. Magic Wizards 16.5 point spread. Hornets Mavs 13.5. Heat Nets 12.5. OKC Bulls 9.5. Grizzlies Timberwolves 13.5. Like there's only 2 games with a spread below 3 points. So like there could legit be like 6 blowouts tonight. No, hopefully that's not the case, but there's a lot of bad teams, man. Like there's a lot of teams that don't want to win. So there's going to be blowouts, for those teams. I found that Prizepicks and Sleeper are pretty sharp. Chalkboard, not so much. Okay, interesting. I don't play on Chalkboard. I've never played on Chalkboard. Why do you think Banchero points went down from 25.5 to 24.5 since Wendell Carter Jr. was ruled out? I don't think Wendell Carter getting ruled out really impacts Paolo's scoring much at all. I don't know why the line would have went down, though. I think, if anything, it would have just stayed the same. But, yeah, I don't think Wendell being out. I mean, we could look, I guess. Has Wendell even missed a game this year? I think he has. He played 1 game without Wendell, had 23 points in 39 minutes. I mean, yeah. I don't think Wendell being in or out really matters too much for Paolo. Wendell being out just gives more minutes to like Mo Wagner and maybe Gogoff. He's in there. Sadiq Bey over 11.5 field goal attempts looks good with or without Zion. I don't know, man. So Sadiq Bey is kind of tough with Sadiq Bey because we haven't really seen him play any games this year with. Because I think this will be the first time, if Zion plays, this will be the first time that DeJounte, Zion, and Trey Murphy have all played together. So we just really don't know what the usage is going to look like for Sadiq Bey with all those guys playing. That's if Zion plays. Now, obviously, if Zion gets ruled out, things are different. But if you look at Sadiq Bey's lines for today, a lot of his lines are low compared to where they have been, and it's just because I guess it's just hard to project out what usage is going to look like now for the Pelicans now that they're kind of fully healthy again. I mean, we haven't seen these three guys all play together at all this season. But 11.5 field goal attempts, I mean, that feels like a low line for Sadiq Bey, but I don't know. I don't feel great about it. Let's look at the matchup. So Sadiq Bey scores about half of his points from within 10 feet. That's pretty good against the Lakers. They're bottom 10, giving up points within 10 feet, so that's good at least. Lakers have been above league average defending catch and shoot. 33% of his points come from catch and shoot. Below league average defending spot up. About league average giving up points in transition. Lakers don't give up many free throws, but if you're betting field goal attempts, you don't really care about free throws. Post up, they're pretty good defending post up. I don't know with Sadiq Bey. That's kind of a tough situation to project out, in my opinion. But maybe he gets 12 field goal attempts still, maybe. But that's why the line's lower, just because, Zion's healthy now. But we assume Trey Murphy's healthy, DeJounte's healthy. Something we haven't seen all year. Jalen Suggs over 5.5 assists with blowout potential. So let's see. How many minutes did Jalen Suggs play last game? Because he's been he's been working his way back from injury, I believe. So he played 26 minutes last game. I want to say that was a competitive game too. I mean, the matchup for assists is fantastic. Like, you look at the Wizards this year, 29th in assists allowed. They give up the second most assists. Against his position, they give up, 7th most assists. Against, where he gets a lot of his assists from is in the restricted area, and that's where the Wizards give up a lot of points and assists too. So it's definitely a good spot for Suggs to get assists. I worry a little bit about, his minutes, especially in a game like this where they should easily win. There's a chance that they don't really run up his minutes, but he should be pretty effective getting assists per minute at least. So we've got no Franz, we've got no Anthony Black. We've only seen one game without Franz and Black this year. He had 4 assists. He had 4 assists on 11 potentials. And that was against Detroit, tougher matchup. I mean, if you give me 11 potential assists from Suggs, he probably is going to get 6 of those converted against the Wizards, who can't defend at all. Don't hate it on Suggs assists. I don't hate it. I like Ron Holland points for tonight. Can't sleep on him. Look at Ron Holland. He's definitely been scoring a lot lately. Over in all of his last 5 games. I will say though, Isaiah Stewart's back today, which could impact Ron Holland's minutes a little bit. Let's see. So in games with Stewart, he averages 20 minutes per game. Without Stewart, 22 minutes per game. So he gets a little bit of a minutes bump without Stewart. He's definitely been good without Stewart this year. But with Beef Stew back, I would temper my expectations a little bit. It's also not a great matchup against Cleveland either. You can see Ron Holland scores 71% of his points from within 10 feet, which that's Cleveland's bread and butter. They defend that area well. They're giving up the 8th fewest points or 9th fewest points within 10 feet this year. I don't love the spot for Ron Holland, and Stu being back isn't great either. But I get why you like it. I mean, you look at that last 5, it looks really good. But again, all those games were without Stu. Can you look at Victor Wembanyama points? You can look at Wemby's points. Let's see. Definitely a good matchup for Wemby. Obviously no Joel Embiid, Paul George out. This is definitely a spot where he should be able to score. I mean, you can see the Sixers have given up a lot of points with in the restricted area. And if there's anyone that can score in the restricted area, I mean, it's Wemby. The dude's like 7'7". But I mean, even within 10 feet, they're below league average defending that area. Wemby scores 20% of his points from free throws. Sixers were bottom 10 in terms of giving up points through free throws. Transition, they've been below league average. Spot up, bottom 10. I don't hate the spot for Wemby. I don't hate it. I feel like 25.5 is a good line. I mean, that's pretty much where he's at everywhere. FanDuel has him at 24.5. Feels like a good line for Wemby, but I do like the matchup, especially with Embiid out. If Anthony Edwards gets ruled out, whose overs would you take? I would definitely look at Ayo Dosunmu, but I don't think they have props for him at the moment, at least not on Prizepicks. Okay, they did just add him back. So, like, I think 22 fantasy score for Ayo is pretty good if Ant gets ruled out. Because I'm pretty sure, let's see. I want to look at these fantasy score lines since they added them back. I think Randall's line, they didn't bump up at all. Gobert's line stayed the same. Dante's line went up a point. Nas went up a point. I think Ayo went up half a point. This is honestly like we might just do this, like, just hope Anthony Edwards gets ruled out, and if he does, I really like this slip. I mean, Anthony Edwards is one of these players that, like, even when he gets downgraded to questionable, he typically plays, but for one, it was a really late downgrade to questionable. For two, they're playing the Grizzlies, a atrocious team. Like, this is such a good spot to just give Anthony Edwards the night off. And if there's going to be guys that benefit, I think it's these two for sure. Dante definitely benefits too. So does Jaden. But their lines went up a little bit. These lines stayed the same. Ayo's line went up half a point. Dude, I might do this. Like, I really might. And there's definitely a possibility that even if Anthony Edwards plays, that Randall and Ayo still go over. Let's do it. Let's lock it in. If you guys want to tell, that's going to be our stream slip for today. Let's hope Anthony Edwards doesn't play, because if he doesn't, I'm going to feel really good about that slip. I wonder, they didn't bump Randall's fantasy. I wonder if they bumped any of his other lines. PRA's at 32.5. I can't remember if that's where it was or not. Let me see if Underdog has fantasy lineup for Randall. Sometimes Underdog will take the fantasy lines off and then they won't put them back up. Okay, they have Randall. Yeah, they have Randall at 36.85. You could definitely take that on Underdog if you play over there. Just hope that Ant gets ruled out. If he doesn't, it could easily still hit. I mean, it's a good matchup for Randall, no doubt. But his numbers without Ant are very, very good. So yeah, I'm locking that in. Let's hope we get that notification Anthony Edwards ruled out. Which I don't know when we're going to get that. It might come, I don't know, it might come pretty soon. They said it was a game time decision, so we'll see. We did also get the Pistons starting lineup, but it was as expected. Cade, Duncan, Asar, Tobias, and Duran. So nothing to worry about there. I like Holland before he has screwed up, or I've liked Holland before he has screwed me enough. I'm off him. Fair enough. You should go to the bank with the big-ass check on your wall. Hey, where do I cash this? Hey, I've already cashed that check, man. I've already got that deposit. Now it's just there for I don't know, decor, I guess. Pretty cool check, though. It's quite large. I mean, it covers up damn near the whole wall. Shout out to Prizepicks for letting me play in the live final. Did not think I was going to win that thing, but we did. Okay, Harrison Barnes got ruled out for the Spurs. I don't think that really matters too much. Any slips? This is the slip we're going to roll with for tonight, right here. NHL Taco, hopefully that hits. And then I built the guys that I think benefit the most if Anthony Edwards gets ruled out are Randall and Ayo. I think if Anthony Edwards does get ruled out, these lines will bump up at least like 3 points each, if not more. I assume Ayo will start if Ant's out. He might not, though, but I would think he would. Magic will start Suggs, Bane, De Silva, Banchero, and Bataze. So Goga is starting for the Magic. Do they have props up for Goga? They do not. I didn't think they would. Wizards will start Carrington, Johnson, Coulibaly, Riley, and Reese. Kind of crazy. Angel Reese's brother is in the NBA now. If you guys didn't know that. Julian Reese, who plays for the Wizards, he's their starting center. That's Angel Reese's brother. I didn't even know that, but I saw it on Twitter. Sucks fantasy. I'm sure it's juice, but he could still get it right. I mean, definitely could, especially without Black, without Franz. It's a great matchup. Suggs gets a lot of his, production from, like, he can get a lot of steals and blocks. Like, he can really take advantage of, like, sloppy, sloppy ball handlers who turn the ball over. And this Wizards team has a lot of those. Like, they're a very high turnover team. This definitely feels like one of those spots where Suggs could have, like, 15 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, a block. Can easily find his way to whatever, 34 fantasy. The only thing I worry about is the minutes. Like, he's coming back from injury. He's a player that has had injury history in the past. It's a game where they should easily win, so they have no reason to really up his minutes much. That's my concern. But the matchup's great. And no Black, no Franz, no Wendell. That obviously helps. We just got the Hornets starting lineup, and it's as expected as well, so nothing to note there. Dennis Schroeder over 3.5 assists. Yeah, so Schroeder, how many games has he played with Cleveland now? Let me look at that. Do that. Dennis Schroeder, Cavs game log. He's played 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. Let's look at these 11 games. So his last 11 games, these have been with Cleveland. He's averaging 4.7 assists, over in 7 out of 11. But let's look at games with Harden. So with Harden, 4 assists per game, over in half his games. I mean, his minutes have still been pretty decent, even in these games without Harden. Let's look at with Harden and without Mitchell. So he's only played 1 game with Harden and without Mitchell. That was last game. He had 5 assists on 8 potentials. I mean, if you're taking him at 3.5 assists, you're laying some heavy juice there. But if you were able to get it at 3.5, I mean, on DraftKings it's minus 124, so that's not as bad. Honestly, that DraftKings play doesn't look too bad. I mean, he's at minus 135 on Hard Rock, minus 146 on FanDuel. DraftKings at minus 124. It's not too bad. We know Schroeder's a player that can, facilitate at a high clip. He'll probably play all the minutes that Harden doesn't play, even if it's only like 12 minutes or so. He has a path to 4 assists for sure. I don't love the matchup for assists. Detroit's very good not giving up assists, but the ball handling role for Schroeder has been decent since he got with Cleveland. Betting MLB can be mad volatile. It definitely can be. It definitely can be. MLB is a very volatile sport. I mean, even the best hitters can go 0 for 4 any night. The best pitchers can give up 5 runs any night. Like, MLB is definitely volatile, but it's a fun sport to bet for sure. It's just it's a very long season. I mean, the season starts in April and ends in October. Like, it lasts 5-6 months. You like Cade over 59.5 fantasy versus Cavs? Well, 59.5, I definitely don't like that. He's at what, 52 or 50.5 on Prizepicks? I'm assuming you're asking about 50.5. That feels like a good line for Cade in this matchup. He just faced Cleveland. He had 49.5 in that game. Cleveland's, a good defensive team. They don't give a ton of points around the rim. That's where Cade can score a lot. You can see about 56% of his points this year coming from, in the restricted area, in the paint, within 10 feet. That's where Cleveland's really good. Cleveland's very good defending the pick and roll. You can see 31% of Cade's points come from the pick and roll. Cleveland's 3rd best in the league defending that play type. So I don't love the matchup for Cade, but we know Cade's a great player. He can have huge games any night. I feel like his lines are set pretty accurately, though. 50.5 fantasy, that feels like a good line for Cade in this spot. What plays we got so far? That's what we're rolling with for tonight. Taking the NHL Taco, pairing it with Julius Randle over fantasy, Ayo Dosunmu over fantasy, hoping that Anthony Edwards gets ruled out because he got downgraded to questionable. I kind of mentioned it earlier. A late downgrade to questionable like this, especially against a Memphis team that's tanking, like this feels like a spot where Ant could definitely sit. So let's hope he does. And if he doesn't sit, if he plays, there's definitely a chance that this could still hit. You think the books know something with Taco Tuesday? I mean, no. At the end of the day, like, you're getting a good discount. And honestly, the tacos, like, they're community voted. So people vote for what they want. It does suck, I guess, that, if Anthony Edwards doesn't play, that, like, that taco gets voided or whatever. But the tacos are community voted at the end of the day. You like any Cade props? I don't. I think his lines are set correctly. And I kind of talked about the matchup. Like, I don't think it's a great matchup for Cade, honestly. Is Hockey Taco good? I don't know hockey at all. I couldn't tell you, honestly. But his line is set at 24.5. The discount is 5 points. That should be good enough. 5-point discount, I'll take that, even if I don't know much about it. Or much about the sport at all. Can you look at Maxey under 31.5 points? We can look at Maxey. So Maxey's lines are going to be higher tonight because the Sixers are dealing with some injuries. Paul George suspended, Joel Embiid's out, and Kelly Oubre's out too. So let's look at games this year without Embiid, without Oubre, and without Paul George. See if we get any bit of a sample. So it's only 3 games, but without Embiid, George, and Oubre, Maxey's at 27 points per game. One of those games he went under was against the Raptors. Not a great matchup. He went under against the Magic. Not the best matchup either. They also lost that game by 41 points. And then last time he was, without those guys, he had, 38 points against Dallas. 31.5 does feel like kind of a high line for Maxey, but that's where he's at pretty much everywhere. Some sites are slightly favoring the under. His usage is going to be really good. I mean, for sure. Spurs matchup, I don't think is great. Like, the Spurs, they don't give up a lot of points in transition. That's where Maxey scores 21% of his points. They don't give up a lot of free throws. They do struggle against the pick and roll, which Maxey can score from pick and roll. They're the worst defense against pull-up. That's not great because Maxey is a really good player when it comes to scoring off the pull-up. That's where 40% of his points come from. I lean under on that, Rodney, but Maxey's such a tough player, man. Like, he just plays so many minutes. Usage is going to be so good. But that does feel like a little bit of a hot line, I think. And you would think the Spurs are going to do whatever they can to, shut down Maxey. What do you think about Con Knuckle points? We can look at Con's points. I know that's a popular play today on Prizepicks, I saw. So they don't have Kobe White tonight, which I definitely think is a plus for Con. I don't think he's played a game yet without Kobe this year since Kobe joined the team. I'm not sure. Either way, taking Kobe out of the rotation does open up some more minutes. If we look at the matchup for Con to score, it's not the best matchup. Okay, we did just get word that Aaron Wiggins is going to start. So we could probably look at some plays on Aaron Wiggins. 20.5 PRA, that's probably good anyway. 20.5 PRA, 13.5 points. I don't hate some of these on Aaron Wiggins since he's starting now. There's probably some value here. PRA. But I don't think these are like slam dunks or anything. I think it was expected that... Who was expected to start for OKC? Pretty sure Isaiah Joe was expected to start. Or maybe... I think it was Jay Will. Maybe. So they'll start Chet, Lou Dort, Cason Wallace, Wiggins, and then I guess either Jay Will or Isaiah Joe. Do they have props up for Jay Will? They do. What about Isaiah Joe? Okay. I mean, Aaron Wiggins is starting. There's some value on his overs. I don't think it's like great though. Maybe the lines bump up a point. Probably not as good as I thought. I'll keep an eye on those lines though. See where they are if they go up at all. 17.5 PRs. You have PA. Okay. But for Con, yes, I don't think the matchup's great for scoring. because if you do look, Dallas is pretty good, defending catch and shoot, giving up, not giving up a lot of points from above the break threes. But also this Dallas team, I mean, they've got so many injuries right now. Like, I wonder if we look at the last 15 games, I bet their numbers are probably not as good. Like, yeah, you look at the last 15 games, they're giving up a ton more, way more points to catch and shoot, way more points to above the break threes. Their defense has definitely been a lot worse as of late. So the matchup on paper looks bad for Khan, but Dallas' defense has really been struggling. This should still be a spot where he can have success. And I'm pretty sure he went off against Dallas earlier this year. That was the game him and Cooper Flagg both went off. He had, 34 points. Only thing I worry about is the blowout for Khan, but he typically, with how their rotation works, he typically subs out like halfway through the third quarter, and then he'll start the fourth quarter. So, like, even if the Hornets are up 20 to start the fourth quarter, like, Khan will probably be out there, which is good. Let me look at his minutes. So, like, when he plays at least, like, 28 minutes, averaging 20.6 points per game. Decent. Would lean the over on his points. It's at 19 right now on Prizepicks. Some sites have him at 19.5. Some sites have him at 18.5. You can get him at 18.5. That's obviously better. Like, FanDuel's 18.5, minus 128 to the over. Don't hate it on Khan. Jared Allen under 17.5 points. That feels like a high line for Jared Allen. He's at 16.5 everywhere. I mean, if you got him at 17.5, yeah, that's definitely solid. It's not a great matchup for Jared Allen. And with Evan Mobley back, that's not a plus either. He's had a lot of big games lately, but a lot of these games were without Mobley, I'm pretty sure. Let's look at games with Mobley and without Mitchell. So he has still been very good, but one of those matchups was against the Pacers, one was against the Nets, and then he did have 25 points against the Pistons. But that game also went overtime, and James Harden didn't play in that game. And you could see his line was 16.5 in that game, and that was without Harden. I mean, you see how Jared Allen scores his points, like, all from within 10 feet. And that's where the Pistons really don't give up much scoring at all. Second best defending points within 10 feet. Second best giving up, not giving up points in the restricted area. If you got, under 17.5 on Jared Allen, I do like that, yeah. Honestly, I don't even mind under 16.5. I think this could be a spot where he progresses a little bit. Okay, we're just getting news from Memphis. Aldama on track to play. Coward on track to play. Drum on track to play. Okay, that was as expected. You like the first quarter demon plays? Haven't even looked at those, man, I'll be honest. I don't know if I've ever taken a first quarter prop. I feel like first quarter props, unless you have like a really good read on something, there's a lot of volatility there. Prizepicks is the GOAT with fantasy score plays. They definitely are. That's one thing I like about Prizepicks, man. They give us a lot of fantasy score options. They do. Okay, it looks like they did pull Aaron Wiggins props, so that's interesting. But yeah, I like the fantasy score options that Prizepicks gives us. Honestly, that's really like the only reason I still play on Prizepicks. I mean, I can only play $5, but I love being able to bet fantasy scores and give those out to my members because we always get good value on the fantasy score props that we take. I got Grimes for under 14.5 points. I'd be a little hesitant with that just because of how, all the injuries that the Sixers have tonight. Not saying that Grimes still can't go under, but his line's inflated for that reason. No Oubre, no Embiid, no Paul George. He might start. I don't know if he's going to start, but he might start. If he's starting, he's probably going to play a lot of minutes. I would just be a little hesitant there. Just jumped on any Paulo Banchero props you like, maybe points and rebounds. I feel like Paulo's lines are set pretty good for tonight. The matchup's obviously fantastic, but there's a ton of blowout risk. Points and rebounds at 33.5, that feels about right. I will say some sites have him at 34.5. If you can get him like 33.5 on FanDuel, that's not too bad. But This could definitely be a spot where Paolo only plays like 30 minutes because like he might not play in the fourth quarter if it's a blowout. But I mean, you look at the matchup over here and you can just see all the look at all this green, man. Like that just shows you how bad the Wizards are. They give up the most PR to his position, second most points to his dominant play type, second most points to his dominant shooting zone, fourth most points in the paint, third worst defensive rating, sixth fastest pace. Like it's just everything checks. It checks every box. The blowout's the concern. But if you told me the Wizards keep this close and Paolo plays full minutes, I'd bet he goes over a lot of his props. But I'm not confident that happens. That's my only concern. I'm a big Hornets fan, looking forward to the test at Boston tomorrow. Hornets will get to 500 tonight, most likely for the first time in a long time. Dude, the Hornets have been balling. We're actually going to a game. Yeah, I think it's on March 28th when they play the Sixers, because my birthday's on March 22nd. So like the week after that, we're going to the Sixers Hornets game, and I'm really excited. Really excited. The Hornets have been playing great. They're a fun team for sure. I'm hoping they make the playoffs. I think that would be great for them, for the franchise, for the team, for the city. And we live in South Carolina, so we're about 2 hours from Charlotte. So we go up to Charlotte a lot, watch some games. What do you think about Ryan Kalkbrenner under half a turnover? That's interesting. That's one of those props that like, it just feels so sketch. Like he could have like an offensive foul. I mean, let's see. So 27 out of 49 games this year he's had a turnover. Dude, like, I really don't know. That's just... It's one of those ones that's just tough. I mean, let's look at games when he plays, like, 15 to 18 minutes. Because that's probably... Or 15 to 20. So with 15 to 20 minutes, about a 50% hit rate to the over. Or to the under. I guess. I mean, if that's one you like, man, roll with it. But that's just one of those plays just so sketch. Like, I just don't know. Isaiah Joe fantasy seems free. Since Aaron Wiggins is starting now, I'm assuming Isaiah Joe's going to come off the bench, so I'm not as excited about that. He'll still probably play okay minutes, but since he's not starting now, I assume that's not a great sign for Isaiah Joe, I guess. Jalen Green over points. Let's look at Jalen Green points. Let's see. So Devin Booker is expected back today. Let's look at game. It's hard to say because, like, you can see a lot of Jalen Green's games this year, like, he wasn't playing full minutes. So let's look at games when he plays, like, 25 minutes. So he's only played 25 minutes 3 times. And I'm pretty sure these games were all without Devin Booker. So this is definitely a tough situation to project out because we haven't seen Jalen Green have, like, a full minutes role with Devin Booker except for, like, the first game of the season, I believe. 17.5 feels all right for Jalen Green. His usage has been really good, but with Booker, his usage rate, it really hasn't changed too much. His scoring, 13.3 points per game, but again, like, he's only averaging 16.7 minutes in this sample, so it's just really hard to even look at that because it just we don't have a good enough sample of Green with Booker playing full minutes. That's one I'd probably just stay away from, I think. What's up? No, I'm not in the Patreon, but I appreciate the hard work on the free YouTube plays. Sure thing, my man. Sure thing. Hey, even, I appreciate everyone's support. I don't care if you're in the Patreon or not. If you come to these streams and you like the streams and you're asking questions and interacting with the chat, that's all that I ask. That's all that I ask. Had a few you like Wemby first half fantasy, DeJounte Murray fantasy. What's the spread in that game? The Spurs game. Let me see. Typically, I looked at first half when it's like a big spread and there's blowout risk. Spread in that game is 7.5, so that should be a close game. I wonder if Wemby's like his first half production's better than his full game. Let's see. First half fantasy's at 27. Full game, I think, is at 54.5. I mean, I guess if you like first half, you could go that route. If I was going to take a Wemby fantasy, I'd just take his full game, I think, because, like, it should be a close game and he should play full minutes. But we'll see, I guess. So he's only over 1 out of 4. So, like, I think this game he went under first half fantasy, but he went over full game. I don't know, man, on that one. I guess, but if you like that play, roll with it. And then DeJounte Murray fantasy, that was one I was looking at for today that I kind of liked. I don't know how much DeJounte Murray plays because he is working his way back from injury, but I believe his last few games, his minutes have kind of come up at each game. So he was at 25 minutes, 26 minutes, and then 22 minutes. But last game they lost by 20, so that's why he played 22 minutes. He probably plays like 26, 28 minutes. He's typically a player that averages like a fantasy point per minute. He should. I like the matchup against the Lakers. I don't hate it there on DeJounte Fantasy. I feel like that line should probably be like 30 or 30 and a half. I think 29 maybe is a point too low. Chet RA without J Dub, Hartenstein, and SGA. Let's look at Chet RA. How many games does he play without all those guys? I don't think it's a ton. So without Hartenstein, without SGA, and without J Dub, he's only played one game. He had 17 RA against the Bucks. 13 rebounds on 21 rebound chances, 4 assists on 5 potentials. His line was 12.5 that game. It's 12.5 today. Favored to the under. I mean, if you're taking the over on that, you probably want to do it on a sports book if you can, where you're getting a better price. Like on DraftKings, you're getting it at plus money, so that's good. Caesars has it at plus 110. He has been good in the one game he played without Hart, SGA, J-Dub. He did have 17 RA, and it's a good matchup for rebounds and assists. The Bulls have been bad on the glass this year. They play at a fast pace, so they're going to give up some assists. I mean, you can see rebounds allowed, they're bottom 10. Assists allowed, they're bottom 3. Definitely a good spot for Chet to get some rebounds and assists, I think. If you can, though, I would play that on a sports book where you're getting a better price than what Prizepicks is going to give you. You like Jeremiah Fears fantasy against the Lakers, Brandon Ingram PRA. Fears, I'm a little hesitant on just because the Pelicans are healthy now. DeJounte Murray's healthy, Trey Murphy's healthy, Sadiq Bey's healthy, Zion should play tonight. And we just haven't seen Fears yet playing with all those guys healthy. I feel like his role could kind of diminish a little bit. I'm a little hesitant on that one. Brandon Ingram PRA, though. Let's see what that line is at. Let's see. 29.5. Prizepicks has him at 30. I don't like that. I mean, let's look at the matchup. So, 32% of his points from transition and spot up. Knicks defend that fairly well. League average in terms of free throws. They will give up points to the pick and roll ball handler, but that's not where Ingram really gets many of his points. 45% of his points coming from pull up. Knicks are below league average defending that shot type, so that's a plus, I guess. Has he faced the Knicks this year? Let's see. He did face the Knicks 3 times. 19 PRA in a game without Pirtle and Barrett. 43 PRA in a game without Quickly and Barrett, and then 35 PRA in a game without Pirtle. 29.5 feels like a good line on Barrett or on Ingram, excuse me. Maybe I'd lean the over there, but that's not what I'm super confident in. I'm going to the Hornets game on Magic Dale Curry retirement jersey. Oh, I got you. I didn't even know that Dale Curry was getting a retirement jersey. That's cool. I got Terrence Mann over half a turnover. Hey, good luck with that one. Those plays just feel super sketch to me. Hoping to go to the Pistons game late in the season. Yeah, when do they play the Pistons? That should be a big game. I'm hoping that, by the time that Sixers-Hornets game comes around, like it'll be, a big game for like playoff standings and stuff. Because right now I think the Hornets are like 9th in the East or 10th, and I think the Sixers are like 7th. But I hope the Hornets keep winning, man. Because it would be fun to see them in the playoffs if they make it. Typically, we kind of have to go to like weekend games because my fiance, she works during the week. I try and be at the office during the week. But if we can go down there for like the weekend, we'll try and catch like a weekend game. They play the Pistons though. When do they play the Pistons? Oh, that's towards the end of the season. A Friday night game. That'd be fun. Hopefully they win that one. But yeah, we're going that Saturday where they play Philadelphia. Is the half a point bump on Io still good? Yes. Yes. Look, we built out this slip assuming that, Anthony Edwards doesn't play. So if Anthony Edwards plays, the lines might go down. I doubt it. Randall's line didn't move at all. Io's line went up like a point. Maybe they bump Io's line back down. They might not, though. If Anthony Edwards gets ruled out, though, that's when we really get good value here, because that's when they'll probably bump these lines like 3 or 4 points, which hopefully that happens. We're still waiting for that news. I don't know when we're going to get that. It'll be after the stream, probably. But hopefully Ant sits for our slip here. But I think that's it for today, guys. I think that's it for today's stream. Appreciate everyone asking questions. We had a lot of questions we got through. Thank you to everyone tuning in. Hopefully I answered everyone's questions. If I didn't, I'm sorry. But let's hope we can all win some money tonight. Thank you guys for watching as always. Good luck. And I'll see you guys in the stream tomorrow, I believe. I should be live tomorrow. So peace out, everybody, and good luck tonight.